Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. This is the Do Not Try This at Home edition. And Jay Andrews here, Mississippi Madman Logan Creed. And yeah, so we're not trying at home. We're not building exploding rings.
Or sparkle.
Sparkle Mania. So we'll talk about that just a little bit, give our thoughts, and give our thoughts on the rest of, what was it, Revolution? Is that what it's called? Viva the Revolution?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. I think it was.
I think it was Revolution. Overall, what did you think about, take away the ending of it not like murdering everybody when it exploded, like looking like a car bomb. But overall, if you took away that, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was horrible.
Horrible.
It was very short. They couldn't work anything. Even though it says 40 minutes on the timer, like it's supposed to be a 40-minute match. But it come up so short, it made everybody look stupid, including Eddie Kingston the most. Poor Eddie. I feel so bad for Eddie. You don't even like Eddie, but even you got to be like, golly, it's crapped all over this dude.
I feel like it's one time that sticking to the plan was probably wrong.
Yeah, they should have been like, hey, it didn't go off. Get up. You look stupid.
Because once it went off, then John Moxley reacted the way he should have reacted.
And Moxley led in there. And people are helping him out of the ring.
But
why? What'd he sell? Like I said, did he faint from the sight of sparklers?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think if Mox wouldn't have, like, crapped on it after the cameras went off, then maybe Eddie wouldn't have looked as bad.
No, it wouldn't.
But once he crapped on it, it like...
The guy that's been hit in the face and the back and everywhere else with barbed wire bats, going through tables, barbed wire exploding, barbed wire literally bat exploding in his face. He's no-selling and getting up, and Eddie's getting carried out of the ring, and he didn't do nothing but run out the ring and try to pick up Moxley.
See, I think what had happened...
He was supposedly unconscious at the time.
I think what had happened was when Eddie went to cover up Mox's arms stunk so bad.
Yeah, because they were burnt.
Because of burning flesh, that Eddie passed out from the smell.
I just felt so bad for that guy, man. I really did. I'm not the biggest Eddie fan, but I'm like, y'all just made this guy look so stupid.
I mean, I definitely think it would be okay to leave him off for a little while and let people just... Because, you know, we're going to find something else to complain about tomorrow, so...
I mean, poor guy. That's all I can say. From everything I've read is that Omega was in the back raising the roof because that wasn't what was supposed to happen. Moxley did what Moxley should have done. He tried to go, well, this dumbass don't know how to make a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to babyface
like I say, Eddie, I didn't really understand why he was doing what he was doing.
Well, it was because that's what he was supposed to do.
Then Tony Khan kind of went with the Moxley thing, going, oh, he didn't know how to build a bomb. But that's not legit what happened. What legit happened was they had a dud that did not go off, and that's what happened.
I mean, sometimes when you deal with unknowns like that, like something exploding, I mean, it's hit or miss, you know.
I mean, you've seen the old cowboy movies where they do this for the dynamite and it doesn't go off, and it's because something didn't connect right. Yeah. And it's possible with the ring and stuff going around, if stuff vibrated, something could have vibrated loose, and it literally didn't make the connection. And that could have been a simple explanation, and everybody wouldn't look stupid.
Right.
But it's like Tony Khan now does these interviews after the shows where he wants to stay kayfabe on this subject, but break kayfabe and go, well, Darby Allin planned 90% of this movie match that he was in. It's like, let's break kayfabe here, but let's keep kayfabe here where we don't look stupid. Yeah. But let's make these other two wrestlers look stupid.
I mean,
well, three,
I like the idea of saying, oh, Omega must not knew what he was doing, because that was the whole kind of build up and stuff. But at the same time, you can't follow that up with going, oh, well, this over here, we planned that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And then, like, there was another thing he did where Sting took a power bomb from Brian Cage, and they're going that night, oh, well, it's Sting's idea to take that power bomb. He's okay. And that's supposed to be your heat going into the match. Yeah. Well, who the hell does this shit? Oh, Tony Khan, that's who. AEW.
I mean, they've definitely made some bad decisions for sure. But one of the good decisions they did make was, I did think the Sting, Darby Allin, and Team Taz match was good.
It was decent.
You didn't really like the intro. I kind of liked the intro.
It was okay. It was just too long. Yeah. That was my only problem with it. I'm like, I was like,
How long does it take to get in your car and
I was
drive?
like, bro, I used to ride a bike a long ways, and that was a hell of an exercise. But if Darby skateboarded all the way there, brother would have been blowed up and the hell with a match.
Well, that's when he called a ride with Sting at the end. I love it. They were like, "Oh, Sting's an old beat up truck," and they were like, "Well, maybe he didn't want his truck to get tore up." It really took the piece of.
Yeah, no cars were ever harmed in the filming of this movie.
Well, you didn't know that. I mean, I don't remember it being written in the script.
Well, they may have edited that part out. My bad.
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool way to hide Sting. We know Sting's limited what he can do, and I thought overall I'd give it an A+ at least for effort.
I thought him and Starks come out like the biggest two stars in it, really.
And I really had it pegged differently because I was like, okay, Sting will get with Brian and Darby will get with Ricky, but it was completely opposite. I mean, you had Brian with Darby. I mean, yeah.
One of my favorite parts I saw in it, and it was kind of an old buddy cop movie type thing where you just run out of bullets, but here's the bad guys. But Sting had dropped his bat upstairs and Darby threw it down to him. I thought that was cool. It was a good little add-in.
Right.
But I mean, if Darby helped make it, he did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah, and I love the guys at the beginning and all surrounding the ring beating on it. I wish they would have stayed there longer, but I understand that they had to get beat up and run scared so that, you know, Hobbs and Hook and Hobbs could come and, you know, do whatever they're doing and wear their orange ski mask.
I didn't understand that at all.
How would you know they were Team Taz if they didn't have orange on?
Because I know who's in Team Taz. I do watch
you may have got
product
him,
somewhat.
But you may have got him confused for one of the guys that was with Darby.
Lord have mercy.
Got to have that contrast, man. It's contrast. It's
Well,
a visual thing.
That was the other thing. I wasn't going to bring this up. We might as well. There were two reveals of new signees of AEW. What did you think about Ethan Cage and Christian?
I really hate Ethan Page is there. Not because
I said Cage.
Not because I don't like Ethan Page, but I thought the North was a good tag team. But
I did too.
The last time I watched Impact, like he wasn't with his partner. He was fighting a karate guy that was himself.
Yeah, they did. The last match he did was a green screen match.
Yeah, so
that was horrible from everything I've heard.
and that's why I heard that he quit.
Yeah,
was because of how they did that. Yeah. I mean, I think Ethan Page is going to just be another guy there.
I do too.
I mean, when you take a guy and you put him in with 300 other guys, then, you know, it's just another guy.
And here's my reasoning too. He didn't win his debut match.
Yeah, he was in the ladder match, wasn't he?
That's not a good sign. You know.
Well, Rey Mysterio didn't win his debut match either, and you know he turned out okay.
I'm just saying.
So, I dig Christian being there, but I don't know how much
the suspense
it's gonna help. Like,
I think when Big Show comes out and go, we're hiring a WWE
future Hall of Famer,
possible future Hall of Famer. And I'm like, you shouldn't have done that because then everybody's like, hey, Brock Lesnar, hey, Kurt Angle, hey, yeah. And then nobody really thought about Christian. Christian kind of got added into the guessing table at the end. And then, well, there's Christian. Everybody's like, oh, man, I was hoping it was Brock. And these are all the people that hate Brock, by the way.
That only works 4 matches a year, you know.
Yeah, well, he's a part-timer. We don't want him.
Unless he's in AEW. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is great.
I just really don't see where Christian fits in.
I don't either. I don't even know what they'll do with him.
But now
Jericho?
I don't know. But like that's one of my big complaints is because a lot of stuff that like happens on Dynamite isn't the stuff that happens on AEW Dark, isn't the stuff that happens on Being the Elite. So like it's really like 3 completely separate shows. So
and
I mean,
to make a 4th.
So I mean, maybe the 4 shows based around him. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I could see some cool stuff happening with him, some cool matches, but I really just don't see the big deal. Maybe.
Like I said, it was a build. To me, if they would have said Christian Cage is joining AEW, let's see what he's going to do, I'd have left it at that.
Now, I think if they would flipped it to where Christian Cage was the guy coming in to be Big Show's role of a commentator, part-time wrestler, I could have got behind that, and then Big Show being the big surprise. But again, what do you do? So, I don't know. I'm just I get they need name value. I do get that.
That's what I was going to say.
But other than that, I don't know where it really adds to it, how it fits in. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and hope they do something outside the box.
It actually makes sense. It goes forward
but I
with the
mean,
story.
You know, Christian didn't exactly set Impact Wrestling on fire when he went there. So,
the thing I remember most that he did there was him and Abyss.
yeah.
So,
I mean, he won the title and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it just didn't make a difference. You
it's
know,
like Abyss gave him Black Hole Slam into a pool, and that's what I always remember. Stuff like it made no sense. It wouldn't have hurt you in any way whatsoever, but I just always
have
remember
you ever
that.
done a belly buster in a pool?
Well, that would have been Abyss doing it though, not Christian.
It's the same principle on your back. But yeah,
Anyway.
so yeah, that happened. While we're, I guess, bashing stuff, did you watch MLW's Filthy Island?
What? No.
Tom Lawler hosted an episode. You know, they do that from time to time. And it was Filthy Island, and this was the worst backyard wrestling bullcrap. Like, if that's not the lowest rated episode they get, something's wrong. Because I didn't make it all the way through. I mean, legit, like, this is hardcore. That's what it reminded me of. You know, the guy climbing the tree and shooting himself with a pellet gun.
Wow.
I mean, like, best of backyard wrestling meets MLW, except without it being good. Oh, it's horrible, bro. Like, now, it might have got better. It may have gotten better. But the first 10 minutes, I couldn't make it. I'm like, nope, can't do this. I don't have a lot of free time as it is, and I'm not wasting it on this. So,
hell, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. You suffered through that alone.
For me, I don't know. It was meant to look Bush League backyardish,
Yeah.
but it wasn't in a good way. Like, this was like the worst possible way. Like, to me, mockumentaries do better for wrestling than this does. You know, like,
Was wrestling without a ring better?
yes.
Oh my God.
100% George South and without a ring
Cedric Alexander and all them guys
was a million times better, bro.
Wow.
A million times better. I mean, these dudes are wrestling at a car lot with, you know, with a bunch of little kids hanging out. You know,
I mean, that was a cool documentary. I thought.
I mean, this was
Trash.
It was tragic.
Tragic. My bad.
So it was horrible. However, the next episode I'm watching now. Haven't finished it, but it's okay so far. Pero debuts. I guess, because I guess he had been there before, because they're like, Pero's back.
Never heard of him.
Okay. Calvin Tankman was on this episode. They were like, Calvin Tankman's a large guy. He's wanting heavyweight competition. He's like giving his best. What do they do? Give him a cruiserweight. Yeah, it makes sense. So bash him OW a little more, but at least it was Laredo Kid. I mean, a guy that you can at least go.
Yeah.
Pero comes in. They're talking about how he's coming in to be the top heavyweight, this and that, and they feed him a little bitty small guy.
They do that though all the time.
I'm like, man, like, give him somebody. The only thing that I guess positive about it, him being there, is maybe Odison shows up, because that would be awesome. But the main event is going to be Fatu versus Jordan Oliver. And I wasn't the biggest Oliver fan, but I'm kind of digging this match. I don't know why. So
that used to be all he did. In promos.
That was
and it would drive me insane. I'm like, brother, do you not know an English word beyond you?
I watched one match of his in CZW, which is where he gained popularity at or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like leader of like the Young, Dumb, and Broke group or whatever. So it's pretty. It's very reminiscent of Special K.
Am I supposed to laugh as much talking about wrestling?
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
I apologize. You're the one suffering through this stuff. I just keep watching.
And I watched a lot of wrestling. I watched 2 weeks worth of Ring of Honor, and I have nothing bad to say.
No.
Do you know the matches? Do you remember the matches from 2 weeks ago?
That was the title matches. Roosh versus Shane Taylor and who was the tag champions?
And Jay Lethal, Jonathan Gresham versus LFI, which is Roosh's
Kenny
group.
King and Roosh's brother.
Yeah, Dragon Lee. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think? I do have something negative. The finish of that match, that tag match.
That tag match was pretty bad.
I dug the finish.
Yeah, but it was
I didn't dig the execution.
Yeah, the punch looked terrible.
The punch was pretty
I
horrible.
was like, y'all should have edited that. Y'all really should have got another camera angle.
Yeah.
Because the match itself was good. It was the finish that was terrible.
Yeah, it was just that little bit.
Yeah.
I did dig the fact that they won.
I had no problem with them losing. I don't really like people being double champion.
Which, I mean, it went from one double champion to another double champion because he has the TV title or whatever.
And possibly another one coming up after the next show.
Yeah. And then we get Shane Taylor versus Roosh, which was good.
I enjoyed the brawl. Like I say, still not a Roosh fan. His matches are almost always the same. Even his brawls are always the same. And Daddy coming out with a chair.
Now, Daddy is...
That's a buff dude, ain't he?
If you didn't say, hey, that's his daddy,
I wouldn't know. I would think it was his brother.
I mean, I'm okay with Daddy being there.
But it's just that scenario is Daddy saving you with a steel chair.
Yeah,
But actually, Daddy didn't save him this time. It was...
Kenny King turned on
Shane.
Shane.
Did you not see it coming? He cut the promo in the back and said, don't interfere in this, don't interfere in this.
Yes, but I was hoping it wouldn't.
And then when he got in the ring and he had the chair already, and I was like, he's going to take it, he's going to duck, he's going to hit. Well, look, that.
Now, I didn't expect Shane to win.
No, I didn't.
But I was really hoping for something different.
So. I thought the match itself was decent. And the finish wasn't even bad. I saw it happen, I knew what was just
it wasn't bad because it took away whatever doubt you might have had of Kenny King being with him.
It's just I've seen that finish so much. As soon as he got in the ring, I was like, oh, okay, I kind of thought so.
Yeah.
So now you're supposed to have a Shane Taylor versus Kenny King feud.
Yep. So I mean, it is what it is. But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
oh no, I'd give the show a thumbs up. Besides, like I said, even the Shane Taylor finish wasn't bad. I just knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. And then on the next episode.
Yeah.
We get Josh the Woods Goods versus Dalton Castle.
Yeah, Dalton. That was a good match.
That was pretty good.
And I love the whole back thing. Oh, and then he rolled his ass up really quick.
Agreed.
I like that.
I dug that. I dig the...
Did you like the real man coming out and giving
Silas
what for?
I hope they don't put them back together.
I think they'll put them back together and then they're going to be like, it ain't going to work, and then they're going to feud with each other.
I would say I could really get behind Josh Woods as a baby face and Silas being a heel.
Yeah.
So I hope that's
way
what
better
happens.
heel than his face.
So that could be cool.
But that match itself was...
Yeah, it was good.
That was one of the Dalton's best matches that I've seen, honest to God. And I'm not a huge Dalton fan, but I really, really enjoyed that match.
Right. And then we get the four-way. The winner faces Roosh at the anniversary show.
Yep.
And we get Jay Lethal, Jay Briscoe, EC3, and Matt Taven.
That's probably EC3's best match I've seen him in.
Man, this gimmick, this essential character thing that he's got going on.
I don't know what he's doing, but it's interesting.
It's like he takes every, like, quote-unquote rule of wrestling and doesn't do any of them. So it's so bizarre, so crazy. I have a prediction of what's going to happen. I think at the anniversary show is the final battle, right?
I'm not sure.
Whatever the anniversary show is.
19th anniversary, yeah. I know that.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see Jay Briscoe, EC3, a fight without honor.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to happen.
Well, I don't know if it's without honor. I know it's a match. It's already said.
Yeah. So I figure that's what's going to happen. And maybe it's somehow they respect each other. And maybe you see the Briscoes teaming with EC3.
They've already done it one time.
Yeah, but now teaming as
actual
team
unit and not necessity.
So maybe that happens. I don't know.
It's possible.
But overall, it was cool.
My favorite part was when he has Jay Lethal and he's picking him up and he's like, kick him in the face, kick him in the face. And then Jay's like, yeah, screw you, and punched him in the face.
Yeah.
So, how'd you feel about Jay winning the match?
I'm okay with that. I think it just continue on with the stuff that's already laid.
To me, he was the only logical winner in the match.
Yeah.
Everybody else had a story but Jay.
And I mean, the Foundation and LFI have loosely had something. They just lost to LFI.
The tag belts, so
I mean, in reality, you could see Jay Lethal pick the belt up.
I think so, because I think they will be the ones to cut them off from cutting him off.
And I mean, if nothing else, even if he doesn't, I think from a fan point of view, that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, that's believable that Jay Lethal's going to beat him due to the things that's already happened.
Yep.
But who knows? You know, and if he doesn't beat him, it's just one more, you know, one more storyline going. You know.
But the weakest part of it to me was the girl coming out, because she didn't really do anything, but she did. So.
But it was just a way to distract Taven.
Oh no, I got it. I got to. We're trying to keep Taven strong, but I enjoyed the match. That was actually, like I said, it was a very fun match for a four-way.
Yep. But yeah, that was good. I mean, I guess not a whole lot of don't try this at home with Ring of Honor, but a lot with AEW and MLW.
All right, well, I'll ask you one more thing before we end this, and I kind of brought it up to you earlier on text, but if you were going to do a cinematic match in Pro Wrestling Ego, could you name 2 people you would like to see try it?
My go-to would be maybe something with Nightmare versus like Fury, but not going to that as the obvious answer. Maybe could do something with like JD, where like, you know, maybe he's training for MMA. He's got the fight coming up here in March, so maybe there's something there where it's like cinematic in the sense that it's kind of lined in, you know, happening at the dungeon type thing. So maybe something with him.
So you're where I was thinking, because I would say him and Koloff.
That could be cool.
Because Koloff can talk.
Yeah.
He's a very decent actor, especially with his Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And I think it could go somewhere with them too. But I'm just curious who you'd think.
I mean, to me, like,
I think Fury might be an interesting way to go too.
I mean, the whole Nightmare.
I think Nightmare and Fury would be a
serial
better one
killer
on
backwoods.
That. But I think JD and Koloff, if it was like an MMA style story. But like if you had Fury, the superhero, versus Nightmare, the evil
serial
villain,
killer, yeah.
You know, that's another way to go.
And you know, another just, and I don't know how it would work, would be maybe something with Ursa Major.
Yeah.
Because you could have Sterling come back into that. You know, and that kind of thing. So that could be really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see Jim Sterling come back and do a cinematic type match.
I mean, I think there's possibility there.
Hey, Jim Sterling, if you want to come back and do a cinematic type match, throw some ideas.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could do something with the West, but I don't know what you would really do there. Sorry.
Mississippi. Remember that.
But maybe, you know, like, it would depend on Wes's opponent. You know. I don't know, man. There's some options for sure.
Honestly.
I think there's some good stuff.
Because if I had to go, honestly, if I was going to go with Ursa Major, I'd probably put him with Wes, with Sterling, since there is that backstory.
Yeah, there's a backstory there.
Because you got to remember, Wes whooped Sterling's ass.
Yeah.
With a chair. So, there's always that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think if you're doing something with a Nightmare, it's going to come across more like Blair Witch than it does anything.
Or Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think there's some ideas. So
if y'all have any cinematic ideas, throw it to us. I'd love to hear what people have to say.
Yeah, why not?
God.
Why not?
Be interesting.
At least give them something to think about.
Hey, no kidding. And I'm pretty sure you got him barricaded in a house somewhere.
Well, let's just say
eating raw dog food or something.
Let's just say more of the old and less of the new.
Gotcha.
So. You know.
Well, good. Maybe you'll trim that damn beard.
We haven't quite got to the point of.
Yeah, it's looking like a Briscoe brother.
The relationship that was there, where I could control him like that. But you know, there's shocking ways to make that happen, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, you'll be surprised what a person will do after not eating for a while.
Get skinny.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
But also, they'll do a lot for food.
That's true too.
So, we're working on the relationship. It's a work in progress. We're not quite, Al and Peggy, but it's getting there.
Have you missed me, Peg? With every bullet so far.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Gotcha.
Maybe we are pretty close with Al and Peg. But it's. I think the near future you're going to see. You're going to see the more violent side of Jeremiah.
Oh, one last thing is we really didn't get to talk about the show got canceled.
It did. Thanks to the
Is there anything coming forward?
April 24th is the new date. Show that was going to happen versus show that is going to happen. It's not the same. It's part of guys taking bookings and things like that in advance, which nothing wrong with that. But it does limit you, when you're trying to rebook stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a couple of new guys going to be coming in. One I'm pretty excited about. We still will have the unification match. Colt Storm will defend against JD Jenkins, the Mississippi title versus Pride title, walking away one unified Mississippi champion.
Okay.
So pretty excited about that. Hopefully see the return of a few people. We've got some fillers out to see who's available. Right now we're in talks with both John Davis and Vordell Walker, which John was already on the event, but Vordell was not, so maybe can get something there. And pretty excited. So that's happening. And April 24th, McGee, Mississippi.
Future's looking brighter, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. As things go away, maybe things can come back.
Exactly.
And so that's that.
All right.
So until next time,
Watch wrestling.
watch wrestling.